Chapter 15. After leaving Rare Earth, Charlie did not go home immediately. He wanted to give his wife a full set of surprises on the day of wedding anniversary. This surprise is not just a jade necklace, he also wants to make up a romantic wedding for his wife. At the request of the Master Wilson, Charlie and Claire hurriedly obtained the marriage certificate, and the wedding was never held in time. The old master himself wanted to choose an auspicious day and hold a grand wedding, but soon after the two got the certificate, he was seriously ill and was admitted to the hospital, so the wedding was been delayed. Later, the old master left, and Charlie was not admired by anyone in the Wilson family, so the wedding was even more impossible. However, now that he has money, he must pay his wife a wedding. When he thought of holding a wedding, the first thing he thought of was the Hanging Garden of Shangri-La. Shangri-La Hotel is currently the best hotel in Orris Hill. The hotel occupies a large area, the decoration is very luxurious, and there is a large and high-end shopping mall inside. The Hanging Garden is on the highest level inside the mall. The reason why it is called the Hanging Garden is that it is built with crystal glass and matched with high-end fresh flowers shipped by air from abroad. It looks like a sky garden suspended in the air. This is also the grandest and most luxurious banquet hall in Orris Hill. If a wedding is held here, it will cost at least several million. Charlie is rich now, a few million is nothing to him, as long as he can make his wife happy, it is more important than anything. So he came to Shangri-La Hotel and wanted to reserve the Hanging Garden on his wedding anniversary. However, Charlie did not know that Shangri-La Hotel adopted membership service. Whether it is eating, lodging, or holding a banquet here, you must have hotel membership. Moreover, the corresponding services are not available for different membership levels. Ordinary members can only eat in the lobby and stay in standard rooms. Silver members can eat in boxes and live in high-end luxury rooms. Gold members can eat in luxurious boxes and live in luxurious suites. Platinum members can eat in the Hanging Garden and live in top luxury suites. And the highest is the Diamond member. Only Diamond members are eligible to live in the presidential suite, and only Diamond members are eligible to hold the entire Hanging Garden for banquets. Moreover, members above the gold level cannot be processed with money, and they must have sufficient social status. Charlie came to Shangri-La Hotel, but before entering the door, he was stopped by several men in black. "Sorry, sir, please show your membership card." Charlie's clothes all over his body are not worth $200, which is extremely dazzling when compared with those brightly dressed and luxurious guests. Charlie said hurriedly, "I want to find your account manager and talk about the reservation." The other party said coldly, "Sorry, you can't enter without a membership card." Charlie said, "Then can I apply for a membership card now?" The other party shook his head and said, "Sorry, the membership card must be processed through the introducer." Charlie frowned, saying that Shangri-La is too much trouble, right? When he didn't know what to do, he suddenly remembered that when he was arranged by Mr. Wilson to enter Orris Hill University to study with his wife as a senior, there was a college classmate named Sabrina Lee who seemed to be at work. So he immediately took out his mobile phone and called Sabrina. After explaining the situation that he wanted to apply for the card, Sabrina immediately said, "Class Monitor Wade, this matter is handed over to me, I will come there." Charlie hurriedly thanked him. It seems that even though they have only been university classmates with Sabrina for a year, there is still some friendship between them, and he must return Sabrina's favor in the future. "Oh, Class Monitor Wade!" A few minutes later, a woman's exclamation suddenly came from inside the hotel door. Lifting his head, Charlie saw a very coquettish woman wearing an old costume, heavy makeup, and wriggling out of the hotel. Sabrina? Her changes are really big enough. He almost dare not recognize her. Seeing the glamorous girl, the two black-clothed security guards at the door hurriedly bent over and called respectfully, "Manager." "Sabrina." Charlie said in surprise, "Sabrina, I haven't seen you in a few years, you are now the team leader in Shangri-La, really amazing." Sabrina smiled and said, "Class Monitor, you are polite, I am actually just a team leader of the personnel department, and I can only be regarded as a small and middle-level employee in Shangri-La." Charlie exclaimed from the bottom of his heart, "That's already very powerful." I heard that Shangri-La's management is very demanding. You are really amazing. Sabrina smiled triumphantly and then looked at the two black-clothed security guards beside her and asked coldly, "You two blocked my university monitor at the door and refused to let in?" The two looked at each other, and one of them hurriedly said, "I'm sorry, Leader Sabrina, we didn't know this is your university classmate, and he doesn't have a membership card. We were also abiding by the hotel regulations." Sabrina snorted coldly, "The rules are dead and people are alive. Don't you understand this truth?" Charlie thought that Sabrina was going to punish them for this, and hurriedly said, "Sabrina, don't make it difficult for them, they also act according to the rules." Looking at Charlie, Sabrina suddenly laughed. At the same time, she changed her face and sarcastically said, "Class monitor Wade, you take yourself too seriously. You really think I will do it for you, and it will be difficult for my subordinates." Charlie frowned. "Sabrina, what do you mean?" "What do I mean?" Sabrina curled her lips and smiled. "Is it not obvious enough? Just like you, you want to enter Shangri-La? I tell you, don't even think about it in this life." Charlie clenched his fists and asked her, "What the H*LL do you mean?" "I am teasing you." Sabrina smiled and shivered, and said, "When I was in college, I didn't look down on you. I only knew the smelly rug, even a canteen bun without meat." "Still working as a class leader? Are you still gesticulating about my academic performance?" "I babble. Don't look at your virtue." Charlie said with a gloomy expression, "Sabrina, I think I have never provoked you. Why do you ridicule me?" Chapter 16. Sabrina hugged her shoulders and said proudly, "I just looked down on you. Why? You are not allowed to talk about it. University classmates who didn't know that you went to be a live-in son-in-law after graduation? When you were in school, you couldn't afford to eat, and when you graduated you are eating leftovers. You still have the face to ask me for help." A bit of anger surged in Charlie's heart. People do not offend him, he does not offend people. Sabrina is really too much this time. At this moment, he suddenly received a text message from Stephen Thompson on his cell phone. "Mr. Wade, Shangri-La is the property of our Wade Group. Shangri-La in Orris Hill is just one of our more than 100 Shangri-La units." Charlie's pupils shrank suddenly. "Shangri-La belongs to the Wade family?" He subconsciously responded to the text message, "Aren't you lying to me?" Stephen Thompson said, "The person in charge of Orris Hill Shangri-La is named Isaac Craven and his phone number is 155. You call him and he will take care of everything. Is it okay?" Seeing that Charlie kept low-hair text messages made Sabrina very depressed. She felt like she was abusing the dog. Of course, she wanted to hear the dog barking twice. But unexpectedly, Charlie didn't say a word. It seems that this class monitor, who was very stubborn when he was in college, is still so stubborn and indifferent to being scolded. So she increased her firepower and sneered, "Oh, class monitor, you can really bear it. By the way, I heard people say that you and Claire had been married for 3 years and you haven't gotten into her bed. Could it be that Claire was the mistress of others? Wouldn't you just be a pretense for her to be someone else's junior? Right? Ha ha ha." Charlie frowned. "It's all about insulting me, but also insulting my wife. Sabrina, you are looking for death by yourself." So, he dialed the phone number of Isaac Craven, the person in charge of Shangri-La, looked at Sabrina, and said indifferently, "I want to ask your person in charge, how does Shangri-La recruit employees? Even someone with mouthful of dung, can they still be recruited? Dare to scold me? Are you tired of life?" Sabrina immediately exploded her hair and shouted at the security guard beside her, "He is here to insult me, give him a beating." At this time, Charlie had already dialed the phone. "Hey, who?" On the phone, a man's coercive voice came. Charlie asked coldly, "Are you Isaac Craven?" "My name is Charlie Wade. I'm at the door of Shangri-La now. I will give you 1 minute to get down, or you will get out of Shangri-La in the future." The man on the phone, who was still full of momentum, suddenly asked, "Young Mr. Wade? Are you really at the door of Shangri-La?" Charlie said coldly, "You still have 50 seconds. The other party seemed frightened and blurted out, "Wait a minute, I'm here." Sabrina laughed angrily by Charlie's phone call and said sarcastically, "Charlie, I didn't expect you to brag like this. Do you know the identity of President Isaac?" The two top members of Shangri-La did not dare to act in front of President Isaac. "Do you think you can bluff me by pretending to make a call?" Charlie said lightly, "Is it bluffing you? You'll know after 30 seconds. Sabrina laughed loudly. "Okay, class monitor Wade, then I will wait with you for 30 seconds. "Oh no, I will wait with you for 3 minutes. If they don't come out for 3 minutes, I will let the security guard tear your mouth. Look at how you brag in the future. Ha ha ha. You really laugh at me." 20 seconds. A middle-aged man wearing a top-level customized suit ran out in a panic. He is a dog of the Wade family and a very powerful dog. Since he took office in Oris Hill and became the head of Shangri-La, he has been one of the most respected existences in city. When has he been so flustered? However, he had to panic and never dreamed that the young master would appear in Shangri-La where he was in charge. Sabrina was about to continue to ridicule Charlie when she suddenly saw the security guards around her looking behind her with horror. When she turned her head subconsciously, she suddenly discovered that President Isaac was running out of it, and she was suddenly struck by lightning. Immediately, she looked at Charlie, her eyes full of horror. "How is this possible? Who is Mr. Charlie?" Isaac Craven's voice was trembling. The people were stunned, and Mr. Isaac, who was able to bring the Oris Hill earthquakes by stomping his feet, changed his voice in a panic at this moment. Charlie said at this moment, "I am." Isaac Craven rushed to the front immediately, bowed and said, "Master." Before he finished speaking, Charlie immediately said, "Mr. Isaac, don't say something outside." When Isaac Craven heard this, his whole body trembled in shock. D*MN, I am a stupid dog. The identity of the young master must be highly confidential, and he almost called out. If the young master blamed him for that, wouldn't he be finished? So he hurriedly changed his name, but still respectfully said, "Mr. Charlie, you are welcome to Shangri-La. Please move to my office to talk." Sabrina was already frightened. She couldn't accept this reality, but it really happened in front of her eyes. What is the origin of Charlie? How can the bosses of Shangri-La treat him respectfully? She ridiculed him just now, shouldn't he hold grudges?